I'm Katrina, and this is Tare. And today I am hard-boiling eggs. I'm also going to show you how to use the egg peeler. These are quail eggs, and they are delicious. I use a pressure cooker, and I wash my eggs, put them in here. There's water in the bottom, and there is a rack. This rack doesn't have small enough holes, so I had to make a grid with forks instead. But put this on here. We're going to go for 3 minutes. I think I've done 2 in the past. We're going to do 3. And this will take some time to get up to pressure. So this will take a while to get up to pressure, and then once it's up to pressure, it will vent. Well, and then it will close the vent, and then it will actually be up to pressure for real. And then it will go 3 minutes and then turn off. As soon as it turns off, I will release the pressure. So I'll open the vent, and then once that steam has released, you better have a bowl full of ice water ready, because we're going to put these directly into an ice bath. I like to put an ice bath, put them in the refrigerator overnight. You don't have to, but it's going to be cold, and they peel better when they're cold. So there we go. All right, we did have one split open. That's okay. It's cooked. All these are going into the ice bath. All right, I just used a ravioli strainer, and I'm going to stir this with the ice for a little bit. You can see a lot of the ice has already melted. If this heats up the water, you dump out the water, put more ice in. Let's see what's at. It's still cold. So I'm just going to put this into the refrigerator overnight. That'll make this nice and cold and be good. And then in the morning we will peel them. And hopefully they're not too soft boiled. I have a bigger one of these. The New Wave. This one is an Instapot. So this is my first time doing it in the small one. But I like to save it and have a big one done first. A big batch at a time. Alright, I just decided to break it open because that's where I am right now, and this isn't cooled down yet. But it is cooked all the way through, which is what I want to test. Again, this is my first time doing it with this machine. It's the same type of thing, but I did 3 minutes. So this is an electric egg peeler. It works for quail eggs. I tried chicken eggs. It's not big enough for that. This works for quail eggs. I have a container underneath to catch the shells. I have 2 containers to shake them in, and then we have our eggs in the cold water. This is very cold. It's been in the refrigerator overnight, and we'll have another container just for the eggs, which is just going to be a bowl. If you have tried to peel a quail egg, just peel it. It probably was so terrible you never wanted to try it again. Quail eggs have thicker shells. They have thick membranes in them as well. So something that's key to help with this is once you've boiled your eggs or done the cooking like I have, put them immediately into ice water. Make sure they cool completely. I do this overnight. I know it's cooled. And then we want to crack them, but we don't want to crack them too much. So this is something that a lot of people, they say, oh, if it's cracked a little, that's good. Cracking more is better. No, it's not. Because what you want to do is crack it enough that it breaks the shell, breaks open the membrane a little bit, so you can put it into the water, back into the water, and the water will go in between the membrane and the egg. Then once you put it on the electric egg, peeler, it will then peel it off in one chunk or several chunks. What happens if you crack it too much is it will peel off one little chunk and then another little chunk. It never actually fully goes zip. And what that can do is it can leave little bits on the rollers, and it can actually kind of get chunks out of your egg. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to have to mess with it yourself and maybe do it a few times to see what actually works best for you. You can do this and actually just add water to like a mason jar, fill it half full, and then put some eggs in there, shake it, and then it'll come off and you can peel it off. Personally, I like to use the peeler because it's faster if you're doing a bunch of them, and that's what works for me. So do what works for you. They are kind of expensive, but if you're going to do a bunch, it's going to save you so much time, and I value my time. All right, let me show you how this works. All right, so I put a few in here. You can put it in a bowl, whatever, as long as, you know, it has a hard top, hard bottom, doesn't really matter. I've done it in bowls, I've done it in these glass things, and here's what I do. Just like that. That's good, should be good enough. Back into the water, and I'm gonna do that several times as I get these ready. It really does help to have a container underneath here. And turn on. These you can just put a little bit of moisture on, and that will help it. So these are silicone, and should be able to just put one finger on it, it'll peel it, and be done. Now on ones that have the yolk on the edge, it's going to be a little bit more tough to do, but it works just fine. And you'll see people get really good at these. They can put multiple on at a time. And be much faster at it than I am. But it's a really, really easy, super easy process, super fast process. And again, if you have tried to peel these by hand, you will know that this is definitely the way you should be going. And all it takes is just a little bit of pressure for it to pick up part of that shell, and it rolls it around. Like I said, the ones with the yolk on the side do a little differently. You won't get this if you... I choose to do this because I don't really care. It's there for egg salad. If you need you know, eggs to be super duper good, like if you're pickling them or something, maybe you choose to boil them. The yolk is a different density than the whites, and so that's why when you put them in the pressure cooker, they actually you know, the yolks are sinking basically. And when you put them in boiling water, the boiling water is naturally going to kind of jostle it around, but if you stir it when it's in boiling water, then you can get the yolk centered. And again, that may or may not be valuable knowledge for you depending on what you're using it for. For what I'm using this for, this works just fine. And yeah, when I make deviled eggs is another one. You're like, oh man, I really don't want the yolk on the edge. For me, every time I make deviled eggs, I also make egg salad. So the rejects, you can cut half of it and use it as a deviled egg, and then the other half you can use as egg salad, and it's fine. You can add more yolk for your deviled eggs too. That way you can have yummy. So I will be rinsing these eggs off. They're gonna have little chips on them and stuff. I'll be rinsing the eggs off. Let me show you something I do very carefully. So sometimes they get wrapped around like this. What I do is I just take my finger and just kind of stop it, and it will detach and go through. You don't want to like stick it in the middle or anything. That could be dangerous. But sometimes you want to kind of get a little bit of water and get some of these spiky stuff down. I rinsed all these eggs, and I took a portion of them, put them in a bowl. I am going to make egg salad. Now, this is a base. I only use the base. You feel free to add stuff you want to, and I don't need to. But this is what I do. You can cut them up any way you want. I use 2 knives. And yes, I am using store-bought mayonnaise. You can make mayonnaise out of eggs and oil. I don't measure because every time I make this is a different amount of eggs. So I go based on what I think is a little less than what I need, and then I ramp up. Yellow mustard. I like mustard. And Worcestershire sauce. It's the key ingredient right there. Feel free to make this your own. Some people put random stuff in it, like onions, yuck, and pickle relish I've seen, celery I've seen. I just like the plain old basic. Man, did I get it perfect the first time? All right, let's taste this. A little bit more mustard, a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. We're good on the mayonnaise. There we go. All right, taste test 2. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you get an electric egg peeler if you have quail eggs. It's awesome. And have a wonderful day. Hit the like if you hit the thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Watch some other cooking videos. And we will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.